44 years and 10 months, I lived in solitary confinement. And for 24 hours a day, I had to fight for my sanity. For 24 hours a day, I had to watch other men who I consider very strong slowly go insane. For 24 hours a day, I watched other men reduced in a sense of self-worth, having their dignity, pride, self-respect stripped away from them. Solitary confinement is the most brutal, non-physical way of torture that can be inflicted on one human being by another. Your whole life is controlled with one purpose: to break your spirit, to destroy your hope, and to make you believe that you have no value as a human being. I watch men hurt themselves, cut themselves, hang themselves, kill themselves, because they could not deal with the pressure of being confined to a 9-by-6 space, 23 hours, in some cases 24 hours a day. So although the cell is 9-by-6, your freedom of movement is much smaller, much restricted. This is your movement from this back wall to the front of the cell.
Solitary confinement is really like being a dog in a concrete kennel covered by a roof. Modern day slavery, if you look at it, all that goes on in there: death threats, threats of being beaten or maced by EMTs, doctors or ranking officers, mental health and classification, all working together to always hide stuff from the people outside, like everything is cool. And actually we're being harmed physically, sexually, mentally, emotionally, every day. Treated like what the Constitution labeled us, men of color, as 3/5 of a man, less than a human. Clear.
Since I've been here, raw sewage has also come up through the plumbing system and the drainage plug located on the tier Jude.
It's so hot in the summer that your cell doesn't cool off until about 1 or 2 a.m. I laid and slept on the floor all summer long with ants, spiders, roaches coming home in your cell. Steve, most of my lockdown came from refusing to be a slave. Working in fields of corn, etc. Free people riding horses with guns telling me to pick this and do that, or write me up for disciplinary just because he or she came. Clarence. When let out, anxiety is high, fear is through the roof. This leads to antisocial behavior, substance abuse, to self-medicated or new mental anguish acquires from being caged in like an animal. This in turn leads to the destruction sometimes of criminal behavior, which in turn can lead back to the same cage the man just left from. Isn't this the definition of insanity? If so, then it begs to differ that the system is insane. This produces men of insane minds, not productive citizens, who have been rehabilitated for society. I pray to God I will do good after being in segregation for so long. Marvel.
Imagine. I want you to imagine your worst time. And then I want you to multiply that by 20. And that what people like Al, that what people like Keon, that what people like myself suffer every day. It represented 3 men who had made a vow that when we went free, no matter how long it took, that we would be the voice and the face of the men, women, and children hidden behind the walls of prison, especially solitary confinement. We made those cells out of schoolrooms. We made them out of law clinics. We made them out of debate halls and universities. We made them out of areas of survival rather than giving to the attempts by the state of Louisiana through the Department of Corrections to make us feel worthless.
This morning I had to take a shower because I still wake up hearing screams. I still smell human defecation. Because this is the type of tears that we were on when guys would throw their defecation on somebody else because they can't get to them through the bars, or throw urine on them, or throw gas on them. It's like, how can we just continue to allow people to go through these inhumane conditions? But now we have a plan. Now we have a plan that will definitely give alternatives to solitary. Basically, we need a plan that's going to construct alternatives to incarceration.
I truly believe that in life, there are individuals or events that raise your level of consciousness. Once you become aware, then you are faced with the moral decision, how you're going to react to it. What are you going to do?